It's Saturday the 27th of July. It's day one proper of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. USA's Taylor Knibb is currently scything through the Paris streets in the time trial event. And we've headed out to Poissy, a 30-minute drive west of the city centre, home of the famous French Grand Prix triathlon team and also temporary home for both the New Zealand national team and the Bermudians. And that means Flora Duffy, defending champion, and one of the favourites for the men's race, Hayden Wilde. Plus, we'll get to hear from Triathlon Live TV commentating duo Trevor and Helen Jenkins as they pick apart the prospects for some of the favourites in the individual races on the 30th and 31st of July. Tomorrow, Sunday, we've got the first famils. Join us then. But for now, here's Flora and Hayden. Whatever you think.
I think just into the camera would be good.
Sweet. Yeah.
Good to go.
Can we take the mask off the arm though?
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah, apologies.
Just pop it in the pocket, might be.
It's not the COVID games.
So yeah, T-minus, I guess, 3 days. Feeling good, taper time. How's it all coming together?
Yeah, it's come along really well. It's kind of weird to have the body so fresh. I normally only have like maybe 4 days of taper into like a standard race, so I don't know, having 7 to 8 days, it's kind of feels weird to have the body so fresh. So, and it's been a long time since I've actually properly tapered into a race, so probably since last year. I didn't really go into Cagliari too tapered, so to kind of be fresh and feel like I'm ready for a good one, it's super satisfying. The work's done. I'm super happy with how the preparations went, and it was just, surprisingly smooth. So it's always nice to tick that box off.
It was nice to see your social media post of like the group dinner. Was that like the last dinner of that time before you moved here? And when you've got that feeling of confidence based off what you've been putting together, it must be a wonderful time to be waking up fresh, energized and ready.
Yeah, like I had such a great team there. I had obviously my two coaches, Craig, who looks after kind of the whole umbrella of everything, and then my swim coach Fred, who's part of the Antwerp swim squad. Just had like a whole swim squad to actually swim with the whole time. These guys, there was 8 of them going to the Olympics, so I was no chance keeping up with them, but it was just still giving me motivation to push hard. And yeah, my swimming has taken massive strides, which I'm really satisfied with. And just having my other training partners there with Sam, who's racing the 1500 meters, he was keeping me honest on the track, and Tom, who was a little bit injured, but he did his part and got onto the bike and did some pacing for me on the track as well, which was super nice. And having guys like Cameron Worth to ride with to keep the pace honest on the rides, like just had such a really nice group. And I've invested tons into this preparation, having a chef on board, having Brad Bear from Australia as a physio, getting a rub down most days, just having a really massive team and people that I trust. And then, just making sure that we can tick every box so I can turn up to the start line and have zero excuses. I know that if I have a great race, it was just all to the preparations I had. But if I have a terrible race, that's on me. So I'm really happy with where I am at the moment, and logistically, having my manager around as well, kind of tying everything together and making everything very seamless and smooth. It was just a really great team effort. Definitely couldn't have done it by myself. So I'm really looking forward to this race, and as I said, I've put everything into it, and we've left no stone unturned, and just looking forward to racing in Paris.
And a little bit about here where we are. This is literally the Seine behind us, slightly different section of, but yeah, Poissy. A bit of triathlon history and culture here too, huh? Yeah,
Poissy, normally my rivals in the French Grand Prix, so it's quite nice to actually just kind of steal their pool and be in their territory. I race for Liévin down the road, but the New Zealand triathlon team came here last year to scout out a good area for us, just to train as we would normally do. And it's sometimes quite hard in big cities, especially obviously with Paris. A lot of things a lot of chaotic things are going on, just with all sorts of events. So for us, it's really nice just to just be out a little bit outside the city, just for the few days leading into the individual. But we will definitely go in post individual races before the mixed relay and join the New Zealand team at the New Zealand house. But yeah, it's a lovely spot. Obviously down the Seine a little bit more, which is really nice, and the training out here is beautiful. It's relaxed and calming, and yeah, just a nice place to soak it up and get ready for the big dance on Tuesday.
The weather's looking good. They're going to be hot. Of course, it's going to be grippy. That bike has got to be something that you're looking forward to getting your teeth into.
Yeah, we've got a special bike which I'm looking forward to showing off. Canyon did a good job with that, and just stoked to show that off. And yeah, looking forward to just getting on the Champs-Élysées and get some cobbles into the legs. And hey, it's gonna be a great course. Obviously, didn't have a good time here last year with deciding to crash before the race. So I think we've got a trolley and some bubble wrap, and I'm going to get trolleyed to the race venue. So there's been a couple jokes in the group chat about that. But yeah, no, we're just staying just outside of the 200 meters before the race the night before. So a nice walk to the race would be a little bit more responsible of me. And yeah, just looking forward to racing in Paris. It's an iconic city, and yeah, it's a pretty iconic course. So looking forward to just giving it everything, and yeah, the crowd's going to be insane. So that's another thing we've got to think about as well.
There's various, race scenarios obviously being flying around, and I suppose that the one that everyone wants to see is you, Alex, shoulder to shoulder down the final. Like, how the numbers been? How is that kind of potential scenario sort of working for you? It's got to be, the racing that you've been putting in has got to leave you in a great place to.
Yeah, I think like just purely looking at like the race point of view, I think I've been training for specific, options within the race. Not just thinking of Alex, thinking of the French athletes. They'll apply pressure in the swim, so it's getting my swim up to an area where I'm satisfied with to compete within the swim and not having to bridge a big gap. So where my swimming is now, I'm just super happy with where that is. It's the best it's ever been. With the help of my swim coach and his team, it's just just a lot more efficient, a lot more faster. I just hope I can apply that into racing. It's obviously a lot different swimming in a pool to then swimming in the open water. So hopefully I can transfer my newfound speed within the pool inside the river. And then the bike, hopefully we don't have to bridge a gap. But if I have a miraculous swim like I had in the Com Games, I hope I can get off the front and just go for it. With a guy like Leo or something like that, just a bit of fun. But yeah, hey, everyone wants to see Alex and I run. The numbers have been really, really good on the run, and just looking forward to showing what I've been doing within the kind of the backgrounds of Andorra, and just hope that it's enough to get the win. As I think at the end of the day, I'm not there to make up numbers. I really want to win the race and go better than Tokyo. So putting everything on the line, and I'll do everything I can on race day to try and get that top step.
And just finally, we were on that course yesterday on the bridge there. Everything was kind of puddled with water, plastic still over everything, but there was a real sense of, test event plus. And once that's all taken off and revealed, and the colours and the sun and the fans, and as you walk through for the bike check, that's going to be quite a moment. Yeah,
I had quite an emotional time in Paris, this time last year. Obviously, as I said, I decided to crash before the race and wasn't able to finish the race, and which cost me probably a world championship at the same time. So it was a bit frustrating, but I'd rather it happen then than the big day on Tuesday. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'm going to have all my family here. They're flying over from New Zealand for the very first time. They never had the opportunity to come watch me race, so I thought I'd give them a little Christmas present and buy them tickets to come over, as I feel this is a cool opportunity to come watch some cool sport. and yeah, having my partner there and her family, and yeah, just the Kiwis around as well. I think we're going to have a lot of Kiwis out there supporting, and even the Kiwis back home. So it's going to be really nice, and I'm going to look forward to getting onto the blue carpet and just giving it some for the last day.
Hayden, thanks. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
You just couldn't feel more French. This is what we out of shot. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess it's taper time, and the energy's there, and it's all looking good.
Yep, yeah, we're a few days out from the race now, so yeah, we are deep into the taper, which I don't know, never feels that great. No matter how many times you do it, you always feel a bit different. But yeah, I'm looking forward to race day. It's actually kind of crazy to think like it's here. I feel like there's been such a build up and so much talk about it, and now we're, I don't know, 4 days out. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm feeling good and in a much better place than I thought I would be. Training's gone pretty well since I last raced in Cagliari. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing what I have on Wednesday.
How has the prep been in compared to like that Tokyo? There's some similarities to be drawn with like the amount of racing you were able to do in the immediate run-in compared to training, and I guess that, and also just like the numbers that you've been hitting. Just give us a little kind of run through of how that's been looking.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between this prep and the prep before Tokyo. I didn't get to race that much before Tokyo because of COVID, and this time around I didn't get to race that much because of injury. But I did have a nice, from Cagliari to now, I think it was about a 10-week block of training, and it was very similar in Tokyo. It was only a 7-week block, but that's a pretty big time to just train and be in one place and not travel and just focus on training and recovery. So in that sense, it's quite similar. And I ended up doing a few of the key sessions that I did before Tokyo, before this build, as well into Paris. So yeah, I could definitely kind of see, okay, this is what I did in build up to 2021 in Tokyo, and this is kind of what I'm doing before Paris. And yeah, things were looking pretty good. So that's nice. It's always a little daunting when you know you executed a set really well before Tokyo when you won gold, and then you do the same set at the same time out from another Olympics. But yeah, it all went well, and my knee injury held up, and I was able to run a lot more than I had been able to before both Yokohama and Cagliari. So yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to be here healthy and fit, because a year ago when we came out to check out the area and see the test event, we didn't know if I would be here, to be honest. So it's just, yeah, a big win to be here starting healthy.
And here, literally Saturday before the race is Poissy, a little opportunity to be as near to the city as possible and also quite removed. Great training place and a bit of kind of French triathlon cultural history here, and for you as well.
It is, yeah. So we're here in Poissy for a few days, and we decided to come out here because it is, yeah, nice and quiet. The training is easy here. They have a great pool, nice trails, quiet roads to ride on. The French racing club, Poissy, as well known, that races in their Grand Prix series, is based here. So there's, yeah, definitely well known that the triathlon is a sport here, and I used to race for that team in 2007, so it's a nice full circle moment to come back here, preparing for my 5th Olympics. We have 2 other triathletes here from Bermuda, Erica and Tyler, both doing a little mini camp here with me. So yeah, that's also pretty cool that I have nice training company at the pool. Usually I'm there by myself.
Out of 8 Bermudians that are here at the games, 3 are triathletes. It's quite impressive ratio you're managing to kick in there. Yeah,
it's really cool. So there's 8 Bermudian athletes competing at the Paris Olympics. I nearly said Tokyo, Paris, and 3 of them are triathletes, which is really cool, and I think speaks to the impact that triathlon has in Bermuda, and just how well run the local association is, and how many races that we have, and the local triathlon club, Tri-Heads, both myself, Tyler and Erica, that's where we all started, and that program still goes on today, and you get tons of kids going down there to Clearwater Beach every Saturday to go to Tri Club, and that's really special. And I think even more special that, the three of us are racing here at the Olympics, like the pinnacle of the sport, and we've all come from this small triathlon club.
You talked about, I guess, mirroring things that happened ahead of Tokyo. Are there any details, any little rituals that you, or even, what does the defending champ eat on the night before the race for breakfast? Just, is there something that you absolutely, like, this has got to be it, basically? Or
Before races, I do have like a few things that I stick to, depending on even whatever level the race is. I always eat the same thing for breakfast, and that's some sort of rice meal. So whatever time of day that we're racing, I'll have rice 3 hours before. So in this case, we're racing at 8 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll be eating rice. And I always wear my hair the same way. But those are the few things. But I'm not like too strict on like what I eat the night before. I mean, there's obviously things I'll stay away from, but when you're traveling and racing in such different places in the world, you kind of got to go with the flow a little bit and know what you can't, kind of a variety that you can eat, and then stuff you want to stay away from.
And it's looking set fair at the moment for race day, polar opposite of what you experienced in Tokyo, which I know you said you quite enjoyed, right? Hammering through in the rain, but equally a hot, grippy, fast bike course has got to be something to look forward to. It
is, yeah. So race conditions are looking, nice and sunny and warm. I did kind of hope it would rain a little bit. I mean, we're filming here today and it's been a rainy day, but I think the Paris course is going to be really exciting. I think the interesting thing will be what's happening in the swim, what the current's doing. That's only something you can really see, I guess, race day. They're looking forward to it. I think it'll be a challenging course, and I don't know, if there's a few sprinkles on the bike, I wouldn't be too disappointed, but also if it's a hot sunny day, that's be fantastic, and I'm sure the crowds will enjoy that more than we will.
You got a taste of the bike course at the test event, even though you didn't race it, right? You did the FAMIL there, so the FAMIL's coming up over the next couple of days as well. Obviously a great chance to just sort of get the legs moving again and get that taste of like that incredible venue as well.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the venue. I've seen a few pictures because obviously it'll be like, I don't know, so dialed, and all the Olympic branding will be up, and the location is incredible. So looking forward to the bike familiarization, to see it all, and then just to go around the course and kind of remember what the corners are like, what the cobbles are like, what tire pressure I want to have in, and just dialing in those details. And then it's like really like, okay, the race is coming. If we're talking about tire pressure and what lines I want to take in the corners, then I know race day is looming.
And everyone is incredibly excited at the prospect of what might be happening on that front bike pack and the kind of power that might be being pushed out there and who might be in it. And that scenario of, you having someone having to try and chase you down, and it's mouthwatering for everybody.
I think it's really exciting, the sort of many dynamics that can happen within the race. Of course, I'm really hoping that we have a nice select group on the bike, and that everyone's working hard, and that we can get rid of some of the maybe faster runners or those that don't like to take pulls on the bike. And I think there's some very motivated women that want to have a hard bike, want to have a hard swim bike, and just make the race as tough as possible. And so my fingers are crossed. You kind of need a tiny bit of luck to make those scenarios happen, for it all to kind of fall into place. I think if that happens, then it can really blow up the race and kind of turn it up on its, just sort of, I think everyone kind of going into the race thinks it might play out like the test event, which purely came down to a running race, where I do think that you can completely flip that and really use the bike to blow up the race.
And your finest hour to date in Tokyo, in front of not a huge number of people, that grandstand, that roar when the athletes come out and rack their bikes is going to be quite a moment as well.
Yeah, I think the crowds are going to be incredible. I have quite a few people coming over to watch me race, to support, and obviously I didn't get that in Tokyo at all. So yeah, it's really exciting just to think of that moment when the crowds are going to be crazy and just so hyped up and excited for the race. And yeah, I think that's, for me, this is my 5th and final Olympics, so really trying to take that in and really soak it in and not be too nervous and anxious of the race to forget about those moments, because they're really special, and racing at the Olympic level, not everyone gets to do that. So enjoying those details is really important.
Flora Duffy, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, once I did this and it had Jamie Riddle's chin hair on it, and it was rubbing the whole time, and I couldn't use the Instagram again, so I always have to. That's good.
Jamie Riddle's chin hair.
He must have had
That wasn't a sentence I expected to hear today when I woke up.
still rolling. So.
It's D-Day -3 here in rainy Paris. Big races coming up, of course, on Tuesday and Wednesday. The biggest triathlon races for 3 years, and then, of course, the mixed relay the following Monday. I'm Trevor Harris, alongside Helen Jenkins. We have the pleasure and the privilege of calling these races. Calling them's one thing, Helen. Trying to predict them is quite another. At least the forecast is good. It's going to get sunnier, so they say. The men's race is first. Alex Yee and Hayden Wilde are most people's favourites, but I don't think it's anywhere near as simple as that, is it?
It's really not, and I think we look at the last couple of years, 3 years of racing, then they are the standout favourites. Alex Yee has edged out Hayden Wilde in most of the battles they've had together, but we look at our 2 last Grand Series finals and neither of them have won, and that's a really big shock. So I don't think it's like everyone else is racing for third. There's all the chance for everyone else as well.
Yeah, the last 2 years, of course, they've had the chance to win the title, both of them, and neither has won it on either occasion. Now then, the French, 3 of them, they are going to try, surely, to try and come out the water and get away from Yee and Wilde, because we know Yee and Wilde won't be right at the front. So can the French actually succeed in that mission, or is it mission impossible?
It is so hard to tell. I mean, that French team, Leo Berger, Dorian Connick's last 2 world champions. Then we've got Pierre Lecour, who, kind of one of the older men in the race, has come back into fantastic form, already has that Olympic experience also from Rio Olympics. There's 3 really seasoned, amazing athletes there, and they do know that their advantage is the swim. They're not quite up there on the run. They haven't been when it's been that kind of run battles we've seen over the last few years. So you've got to think maybe they're going to try something. They may have planned something to do, but it's incredibly hard on this course. And then you've got the strength of Yee and Wilde, how much they've improved that swim over the last few years. They're always within touching distance now of that front group. So it's really open of what could happen. I'm finding it really hard to predict exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many different scenarios, so yeah, really hard.
And that's exactly the way we like it. They're going to try and get away. The question is, can they stay away? Now, one thing about the swim, you say they've improved their swim, and that of course is true, Helen, but the current is very strong in the Seine, and that's not going to be to the benefit of the slightly less strong swimmers.
This is one of the trickiest swims that the athletes will have encountered. I mean, we have, there's lots of different kinds of swims. We have pontoon starts, you have beach starts, but I think, and we have river swims as well, but this is probably the strongest flowing river that the athletes have swum in. So it is, I mean, to the fact that with the athletes are being given like the speed of the water at different stages of the pontoon, so where they even start is going to affect how the race goes. But you do think that those strong swimmers are going to be able to navigate that current in the river better than maybe some of the weaker swimmers. Also, decision making will be crucial. Which feet to go to. If one group's kind of taking a more direct route, do you follow them? Or do you take maybe the faster route, which is off course, but out of the current? So
yeah.
Decision making is going to be key too.
Well, let's stick with the Wilde and Yee theme for the moment, because here's my other question. We've seen virtually every race where those 2 have been together at the front of the run that Yee has prevailed. So is Wilde going to be thinking, let's say they're both in that front pack, there's maybe a couple of laps to go. Surely Wilde is thinking, maybe I've got to make a little break here, because otherwise Alex is likely to outrun me over 10,000 metres.
Looking at past scenarios, yeah, that is likely. And looking back to Cagliari earlier this year, it was only 2 seconds that split them at the end. So they raced for almost 2 hours and it's 2 seconds at the end. So it's absolutely crazy. So you've got to be thinking, what can he do to kind of make it so he can get ahead 3 seconds. That's all it needs to be,
Yeah.
right? Is there a chance that he could break away on the bike? He maybe has superior bike strength to Alex. Alex's bike strength is incredibly good. Maybe he's a little bit underrated on the bike because we always think of him as a runner, but he's always in that chasing position, or has been, and he's had to use that strength. So is he planning something on the bike? Is there an attack planned? Because it's going to have to be planned. You can't just pop off the front of the Olympic Games, especially with the speed of this course, and expect an attack to succeed. There has to be some sort of plan of when it's going to go. Has he got someone that he's going to go with? Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see.
We mentioned the French in passing. Dorian Koenigs, of course, is the world champion, but he had that horrible accident in Yokohama. We haven't seen him since. We hear he's fully recovered, which is great. How much of a disadvantage, though, that he hasn't raced competitively since then?
It's a disadvantage, yeah. I mean, he would have wanted to have kind of tested himself on races, get that fit, see where you are, I think, as well. But, I mean, we have seen athletes do it in the past where they haven't done much racing and still been able to come out and perform. So I think it's a disadvantage, but I mean, he's had that really great team around him to help him get back to fitness. I mean, he's overcome it, he's had to have surgery after Yokohama, so it's incredible that he's come back, and the French team, he's proved his fitness to them, and they've said he's able to go. So it's a big unknown where he's going to be. Okay,
let's have a look at a few other likely or possible contenders. We can't ignore the defending champion, Christian Blumenfeld. We haven't seen that much of him actually on the World Series circuit since he won gold in Tokyo. He's been away doing other things, and of course this season was slightly curtailed because of what happened in Abu Dhabi at the start. The thing with Christian though is that heart, that spirit, you never rule him out, can you?
And I don't think you can discount your previous champion either. I mean, what he did after Tokyo, so winning the Olympic golds, winning the World Championship, winning half Ironman World Championships, winning Ironman World. I mean, it's like no athlete has ever done that.
It'd be in the archery next week, you watch.
In such a short space of time, it's absolutely incredible. And then it's been fascinating to see that shift back to short course, and he hasn't had it all his own way. I'd say he was the faster runner in Tokyo, but it has shifted since then, and his run speed has maybe not quite come back to where it was, and I think that run speed has gone up again in the men's race. So it's going to be whether he's been able to move it. We haven't seen it over the last few World Series he's done, but again, you can't count out Blumenfeld. Like you said, that heart, that spirit, and he's our previous champion.
Yeah. On the other end of the scale, man who has been seen a lot this year and is performing superbly is Matt Hauser, the Australian, coming off the back of that win in Hamburg. Hardly ever runs a bad race. We know how well he's actually running at the moment. He always swims consistently well. He's an excellent biker. There aren't too many weaknesses really when you look at it.
No, I know, and I think the fact he has that great swim really gives him a little bit of an edge over kind of Yi, Wilde, Blumenfeld. You'd expect him to be up there in the swim. And I feel like some of these athletes like Matt Hauser have been able to kind of just keep going and not have too much pressure on them, because everyone's talking about Yi and Wilde, as it has been for the last few years. He's been able to just prepare, kind of go about his business, and he's been getting better and better and better. And I think the fact he has that good swim is really going to give him a bit of an edge over maybe some of his rivals.
Yeah, well, one of those rivals, Morgan Pearson, we've said it before about Morgan, you never quite know what you're going to get. One day absolutely brilliant, the next race maybe a little bit under par, but surely if he's ever going to be up for one race, it's this one, isn't it?
Well, that's it. Some races is good, some races not. If he gets that good race at the Games, he could win it. I mean, he has the run speed.
Yeah.
And even when you hear those top athletes talk about who are you watching for, Pearson's always in that equation, because that run, when he delivers it, it's race winning. It's just whether he can. The last few races he's suffered on the bike, and it's been a bit of a surprise, because I know his cycling's actually pretty good and he's not too bad technically, so why he's suffered so much the last couple of races, it is a bit of a question mark, and maybe it's a confidence thing, maybe he's kind of that win has put him up there as one of the favourites and it's got a bit of a nerves about it. I don't know what it is, but again, someone you can't discount.
Yeah, a few dark horses we should mention. Vasco Villaça, for one, the Portuguese, had that nasty bike crash recently, but came back well in Hamburg. I mean, look at his form going back. He's top five almost every race.
I know, it's hard to say him as a dark horse, isn't it? Because he got on the podium at the test event last year. But it does get maybe a little bit unthought of when we're thinking about kind of talking about the other athletes. But definitely got potential, incredible sprint finish, all round very strong. He has that ability to ride his way back into a race as well, like we saw in Hamburg. He didn't have the best swim, but he is able to use that bike strength to get his way back up to the front and manage to come away with a medal. So another big contender.
Any other men you want to mention you think might be in with a shout?
I think a couple of the younger guys like Miguel Hidalgo, Chonga Lehmann, both of who have done really well this year. Chonga Lehmann getting his first medal in Cagliari. Hidalgo had one of the best runs in Yokohama but was stuck behind a crash, and then we haven't seen as much of them. So they're two younger guys, and when they're the younger guys, that curve is kind of coming upwards more steeply, so they might hit that, you know, great form on race day. And also there's that kind of, you know, expectation. No one's looking at me, I can just go for it. You can throw everything in there, can't you? You can just pull something out of the bag, do something a bit crazy, because you're already at the games. We have so many athletes that have been quite cautious on this preparation because they have to finish, they have to get the points, the rankings, there's the selection, there's so much going on. Almost when you get to the games, anything can happen.
Right, no more stalling. I need your 1, 2, 3 for the men's race.
Number 1, Alex Yee. Number 2, Hayden Wilde. And number 3, Miguel Hidalgo.
Oh, we're really close because I'm going Yee, Wilde and Hauser. All will be revealed bright and early Tuesday morning. It's the Saturday before the biggest women's race for 3 years, Paris 2024. We're all looking forward to it. The weather should improve, we're told, fingers crossed. Now, the two favourites by a big margin, Beth Potter, the world champion, Cassandra Beaugrand, so consistent now. But I don't think it's necessarily between those two. We'll talk about Taylor Knibb's possible influence in a minute. But if you were Beth Potter, Helen, would you be a bit concerned at the form that Beaugrand's shown us this season?
Oh, do you know, it's really hard to tell. And I'd say last year, Beth Potter was the standout favourite, wasn't it? She won the test event convincingly, she won the series final convincingly. But then this year it has gone Beaugrand's way, and we've seen kind of a step up from her. I think in her mental game as well. She's been, like I say, really like mentally tough in races as well, which maybe in the past we haven't seen as much. So I don't know, I think for Beth Potter, it maybe takes a little bit of pressure off. She's not kind of that favourite, which she was at the back end of last year, so that may actually be of help to her.
Will you expect both of them to be pretty close to the front out of the water?
Yes, especially Beaugrand. I mean, she's led out swims in the past, and Beth Potter, I think she used to be seen as just a bit of a runner, but she did grow up swimming, and I say, like, the way she's improved in, you know, over a short space of time the last 3 years, she's consistently very close to the front.
Beaugrand, of course, has been brilliant, but all the pressure, the level of expectation that's on her, I do sometimes wonder if she can handle all that, and this is the biggest test for her, to see if she can cope with it.
It's really hard, and one of the favourites going into the games in your own country.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think we saw that with the Brownlees back in London of how they kind of managed that pressure and delivered. So I do believe it's possible for her to do it. I think the fact she's been based in the UK is going to be of a big help. Maybe she's not had quite as much pressure on her in that build-up, and she's just got to go about her business and deal with it. And I think when you look back, she'll realise what she's under, how much pressure she's under. But I think when you're in that moment, you just cope with it the best you can, and she'll have a great team around her to help her with that.
Well, we reckon both of them will be fairly close to the front out the water. Two others who surely will be there, Flora Duffy is one and Taylor Knibb is another. Now, do you think that those two may have had a phone conversation, a text conversation, I don't know, WhatsApp, whatever, and said, look, we're probably arguably the best two bikers in this field. We probably cannot run as fast as Beaugrand or Potter. We have to get away from them. Can we expect some fireworks from those two? And do you think it might be a coordinated type of firework?
Oh, it's just so hard to know. I mean, they both live in Boulder in Colorado, so maybe they've done some training together, who knows? But I mean, I don't know what the tactics are coming in. I mean, I say Flora's strength is her technical ability on the course, and that she's one of the absolute best, and then Taylor's ability is that absolute power she brings. I mean, she's competing in the individual time trial as well, so we know how good she is on the bike. So I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure if it'll be coordinated, but if those two do come together, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I think so much of the race is actually pivots on where Taylor Knibb comes out of the swim.
Yeah.
If Taylor Knibb has a good swim and is right up there, and she didn't have the best swim in Paris in the test event last year, but I do think some of that was positioning on the pontoon, and she will have learned a lot from that. So if she comes out near the front, it could be game over for some of those athletes behind, because I don't think she's going to let up initially and kind of let anyone come back into the race. She's got to use that strength that she has, and I don't think we can see her using it all the time in races.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that makes this course unique, for those that are maybe a bit behind in the water, they've got to come up those steps, about 30 sort of rock-type steps, and you can only get about 2 abreast on there. So those that are in the middle of the pack, they're just going to slow them down a bit, I think.
It's a really unique transition. So if we do have those swimmers kind of really stretching out at the run, like Serenki from Italy, she's one of those, she's in the race. She might not feature overall, but she's going to have a big impact on this race with how she leads out the swim if she did like she did in the test event. So they come out of the swim exit. Those leaders, they single file up those steps, which I think is 36 steps, which is not the easiest thing to do after you've been kind of horizontal in the water.
Yeah.
And then when we get the bunch, we get that kind of mass pack that's kind of stuck together a bit, they are going to have to single out up those steps. And I think those athletes that are willing to be really aggressive, kind of almost get those elbows out, push past people, get up those steps, that's we're going to see them maybe able to make up a few spots there.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that Cassandra Beaugrand may have gone slightly under the radar, at least till now, because she's been based in England. Someone else I think you can say that about is Georgia Taylor-Brown, silver medalist, of course, 3 years ago, and she's had some injuries since then, but she also is one of those likely to be in that front pack. We know how good she is on a bike, and if you suddenly get the addition of Taylor-Brown, and maybe even Maya Kingma, we haven't even mentioned her, she swims well, and we know how good she is on 2 wheels, there could be some serious power up front in the women's race.
I mean, the women's racing has definitely changed over the last few years. You look back to when Flora Duffy won in Tokyo, when Georgia Taylor-Brown was second, Katie Zafiris was third. It was from that breakaway group. You had Jess Learmont kind of leading that charge out front, and there was definitely that sort of breakaway era, and it's definitely come back to that larger front group over the last couple of years. So it's whether the Olympics is that opportunity for those women to try and kind of force that breakaway again. There's a few things. Will the swim be fast enough? The swim needs to be really fast for kind of it to break up. But for Georgia Taylor-Brown, Flora Duffy, that was their kind of era, and both of them had a really kind of troubled, like kind of last 18 months to get here. Lots of injury problems. So we've seen them come back this year with okay results.
Yeah.
For them, okay, that's not to their usual standard, but they've had more time. I saw Georgia Taylor-Brown say recently she's done absolutely everything she can in this last kind of 6 months to get herself in the best shape possible. So we can't count them out. Although we haven't seen them near the top, like Beaugrand and Potter, our favourites, they're definitely maybe coming in a little bit more under the radar, which is strange as the previous 2 medalists, but I'm so excited to see what they can do. They can really shake this race up.
Well, we've mentioned Cassandra Beaugrand. We shouldn't ignore the other 2 French women because they're pretty good. Emma Lombardi, first of all, she's only 22. It's ridiculous, the results that she's put together. She's going to have the benefit of home support. She doesn't have too many bad races either. Very, very consistent. And you've got to give her a podium chance too, I think.
Yeah, you have. I mean, the only thing with Lombardi, if it comes down, is there's a larger group coming to the run at the end. I'm not sure she's got that sprint finish. But Leonie Perriot as well, her win in Yokohama, it feels like quite a long time ago now, was absolutely amazing. She was a little bit off on the swim. She rode incredibly well that first lap to get herself back in that front pack. And then what a brilliant run. I mean, she just ran away from the field. She made it look so easy. So, yeah, and I think it's easy to underestimate how much support they'll have. And I think that I was very privileged to be in London at a home Olympics, and I still get goosebumps thinking about that race. The level of noise and support was absolutely incredible. Nothing I'll ever experience again. And these, for the other athletes as well, I mean, that noise, it's not something we get at triathlon all the time, but to know that like 90% of that crowd are cheering you on and that support, it is unbelievable. And those French athletes going into it, they're not going to realise it till they're out there what it's actually going to be like.
Well, talking about benefiting from home support, the number of people that have said to me in the last couple of weeks, I think Lisa Tersch has got a great chance of winning a medal, because she had that wonderful home support in Hamburg a few weeks back. And actually, I think she's racing about as well as she ever has in her career. And she's not even regarded as a German number one. I think most people would say Laura Lindemann is a German number one. So those two have definitely got a shot.
I mean, she's had 2 podiums, hasn't she,
Yeah.
the last 2 World Series. So you can't count her out at all. And she had, again, one of the fastest runs in Yokohama. Her swim has massively improved. She's still maybe slightly more vulnerable than maybe some of our other favourites we've talked about on the swim, but yeah, and then Laura Lindemann as well. I mean, she hasn't shown us great form, but when does she ever show us great form at the start of the year? And when does she hit her best form? Now.
Yes, and that's when it counts.
Yeah, right now.
Anyone else that you think we may need to mention? I mean, there's so many. It's hard to kind of pin down anyone, isn't it?
I know. As you said about Maya Kingma earlier, she's
Kingma,
someone
yeah.
that can really influence a race. Rachel Klarmer as well, 4th at the last Olympics.
Yeah.
Whether she's going to have that run after kind of a little bit of injuries over the last few years.
Spivey.
Taylor Spivey, yeah, it's really tricky, isn't it? So and again, because we haven't seen some of these athletes for kind of since May racing, it's going to be great to see how they've moved on. And then as well, Tilda Manson coming in. If we see that big bike group come together, she's likely to be in there. Could unleash an incredible run. Maybe she's like an outside shot at a medal. Okay,
so head on the block time. Give us your 1, 2, 3.
I think Beth Potter's going to win.
Okay.
I think she's maybe got it right in the build-up. Bogrand for 2nd. Taylor Knibb for 3rd.
Okay, I'm going to be very contrary. I think Knibb's going to win this race. I think she's going to break away on the bike, destroy the field, and win. I think Lindemann will come 2nd. Lisa Tersch will come 3rd. See if we're anywhere close on Wednesday.